Honorable member, the gallery is not part of the proceedings of this honorable house.
I'm sorry, I withdraw that. Anyhow, they came yesterday to listen to the debate, and the police chased them away. As the what they can't enter. And when they stood up to see if I would have come, they said, don't stand up here, y'all go along, y'all, where we are waiting here for. They are human beings, they are Guyanese. Why can't they come and listen to the debate? Anyhow, they made contact with me last evening, and I told them to come today. And they were here. I don't know if they're gone, but they were here. And they're
Okay,
blind.
we note what you have said.
So I'd like the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs to talk to his policemen on that issue. May I speak now to speak on their budget. Mr. Speaker, as a grassroots member of Parliament, I get up to represent the working class and poor who are not catered for in this budget. Mr. Speaker, VAT is still holding a large amount of water. Mr. Speaker, that water is not being used, neither is it being evaporated. Mr. Speaker, the members of the other side of this House need to visit the post offices around the country on the 1st of every month, and they will witness the large number of pensioners lined up from 6 a.m. and in some cases earlier to cash in their pension vouchers. That is how desperate many pensioners are. Wake up, Minister, wake up. Because sometimes they're in the rain, like East Penton's post office and the Border Post Office. They should make sheds for them, so to protect them. They're old and they can't take rain. With respect to the pensioners, Mr. Speaker, I would love to see the Honorable Minister of Finance treat the pensioners as if they were his parents. What can $600, Guyana, do for them? The pensioners have to pay for proper medical care, purchase medication, drinking water, and personal products to have them looking and smelling good. This is not cheap, I assure you. And to add to that, Comrade Speaker, the Honorable Member, Ms. Baby Shadiq, said last year, and she said it in this sometime during this debate, that children must look after parents. Comrade Speaker, children cannot look after their parents with this salary that they're getting. Oh, come on, Shadi. Sometimes when the pensioners get their few cents, they have to put it into the children's hand to help them to send the children to school. Probably you have a problem with that. Probably you have a personal problem with that. Pensioners and our senior citizens need assisted living facilities. They have worked hard and given their service to this country. It is only fitting that we should show our appreciation to them by having them spend the remainder of their lives in some degree of comfort and dignity. Mr. Speaker, the National Insurance Scheme is an organization which is supposed to provide relief to workers who become ill, disabled, or old. Mr. Speaker, the complaints are numerous regarding the inability of contributors to get their benefits in a timely manner. Some persons even complain of not getting their benefits at all. The state of affairs has resulted in some persons calling this institute the National Institute of Swindlers. Mr. Speaker, GPL is another sore point for the grassroots. People there have numerous complaints that when they purchase prepaid credit, they are being robbed of $1,000 or $2,000 Guyana worth of credit. Their complaints fall on deaf ear. I hope the Honorable Prime Minister could look into this. Perhaps the Honorable Prime Minister will investigate and inform us of corrective actions taken by GPL. According to GWI billboards, water is life, save it. However, apparently the persons at GWI do not believe that slogan, at least the first part of that slogan, because they should have said before they put water is life, they should have put an adjective, good water. I say this because on numerous occasions when one turns on the tap, there is no water. On other occasions, the quality of the water is atrocious. It cannot be used to cook or drink. Neither can it be used to do the white laundry. Mr. Speaker, I turn now to education. Every year we hear about the billions of dollars that is allocated to education. But, Mr. Speaker, I wonder who benefits. Teachers meet me and tell me teachers are a major stakeholder in the delivery of education, but we do not hear anything in the budget to improve the welfare of teachers. I still hear about teachers having to work under conditions that the Honorable Minister and her officials would absolutely refuse to work under. Teachers continue to complain about dust falling on them while teaching, inadequate or poor accommodation, poor sanitary facilities for themselves and students, classes being disrupted whenever it rains. It would appear to me that the welfare of the officials and staff of the Ministry of Education are more important than those of the teachers and students. Why do I say this? I have heard about retreats and fun days being hosted for the officials and staff at a resort along the Linden-Susdike Highway. Annual Christmas dinners, parties for the staff and officials. To add insult to the teachers, the gravity lunch was reserved for a luncheon not for teachers, but for officials and staff of the Ministry of Education. Mr. Speaker, I was overjoyed when I was told that women in education was honored by having their photographs displayed on large billboards along with Dam. However, I was disappointed when I only saw one active teacher being honored, and she was not honored for being a teacher, but for being a GTU official. Are there any active teachers who deserve such recognition? Will some of the $32 billion be spent to improve the welfare of teachers and students? Or will it be spent on parties, outings, retreats, high-power lunches, and billboards for education officials and staff? The budget does make mention of a payment. The budget does make mention of a payment of $10,000 to school children to assist with their transportation at 38 weeks per school year and deduct 1 week for interruptions and national holidays. That money translates into approximately $53 per day. We are still short $7 for one side short drop fare around the city. Mr. Speaker, that amount is inadequate. What guarantee is there that parents will spend the money, even though inadequate, on the intended purpose? It is my view that providing school buses would have been a better measure. According to the man in the street, government is trying to buy their votes. I do not know if the minister heard the song they are singing. Mr. Speaker, the parents are singing, not a blade of grass, not one caress. We love the one-seat majority. Mr. Speaker, nurses and public servants continue to be treated with scant regard by this administration. They are human too, and if they are not treated properly, we cannot expect to get proper service from them. At the first opportunity, they will migrate. Mr. Speaker, the blind and or visually impaired are always imploring that they need to be treated equally. They have been asking if the Ministry of Housing and Water have any plans for affording them the opportunity of obtaining a turnkey home at a low cost, not those homes where the walls are crumbling. Mr. Speaker, they also said that living with the sighted is not nice. Mr. Speaker, we have a champion of the earth and a doctor of the environment. But at almost every street corner, there's a garbage. The Lee Pentair Cemetery has been renamed the Lee Repentair Forestry. I am hoping that the funds allocated to clean up our garden city are indeed used to clean up our city. How can we have a champion of the earth and a doctor of the environment, and our environment is in such a deplorable state? Mr. Speaker, I close with two observations. One, lately, I have observed that there is a paucity of cancrows flying around. When I brought it to the attention of my grandson, he remarked, "Granny Joan, the cancrows have migrated too, because people hardly have anything to eat, much less a throwaway for the crows to get." Two, they don't eat garbage. Two, I asked a young man, "Why is your stomach so high?" He remarked, "Miss Baveghems, haven't you seen that it is almost everyone have a huge stomach? We have to have guts to survive in Guyana these days." Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.